Hello, my name is Lemon Drop. I'm a culinary arts student, and today I'm going to make yaki udon using a pasta machine. Let's get started. Today I'm going to be using the Mercato Atlas 150, which comes with an attachment that you can use to make traditional types of Italian pasta. Since I'm going to be making yaki udon, I'm going to use the Bigoli attachment. It's really simple to swap them. All you have to do is slide out the attachment that is currently set, and then slide the Bigoli attachment in its place. I'm going to start with the noodle dough. So I've got a bowl here that I'm going to put some all-purpose flour in, and then to add the salt and water, the first thing I'm going to do is add them together. So I have salt and water, and I want the water to dissolve the salt. So I'm going to stir them together, and this will make sure that the salt is evenly distributed in the noodle dough. All right, all my salt is dissolved, and I'm going to add it to the flour. And I'm going to start mixing it up. The motion that I'm using is a swirling motion, and when the dough starts coming together with the water, you'll notice that there's parts of it that are more cohesive and some parts that are more dry. What you can do is press them together with your palm downwards. So any parts that are more hydrated can be pressed into the drier parts. So as you can see here, my dough is coming together in this cohesive ball, but this part is still a little bit dry. So I'm going to add a little bit water just to this part, a tiny, tiny bit, because you can always add more water, but you can't take it away. So I'm just going to squish it together, try to get it to the same level of hydration as the rest of the dough. Get it to come together in a ball. And now it's coming to a ball. So the next step is that I'm going to shape it into a rough disc. Doesn't need to be perfect, just kind of get it into a spot where I can roll it out when I'm ready. All right, that looks good. I'm going to cover it with plastic and we'll let it rest for a little bit. This dough has been resting for 30 minutes. I'm going to unwrap it and roll it out using a rolling pin, and so that it will fit into the pasta machine. Traditionally, if you were making udon at home, you would flatten it by stepping on it. But since we have the pasta machine, it's going to do the stepping for us. I'm trying to make the dough into a rectangle so that it fits into the pasta maker, and I'm just rotating it to make sure that it stays flat and even on both sides. I want the dough to be rectangular, but also small enough to fit in the machine. So I think we're good about here. So let's move the dough to the machine. I have it set to 0. I'm just going to put the dough directly on the rollers and start rotating. It comes out the bottom. That's nice. So I'm going to pass it one more time, just to make sure that it's nice and smooth and even. There we go, that's looking nice. So I'm going to set it to number 1 to make it a little bit thinner. As you can tell, this dough is very smooth and soft. It's not sticky. You don't need to flour it. It works perfectly with this machine. I'm ready to cut the dough, so I'm going to move the crank from the rollers to the cutter, and then I'm going to dust the dough with cornstarch so that the noodles don't stick to each other. And I'm going to feed it through the cutter. All you have to do is spin the crank, and the machine does the work for you. And now we have udon noodles. The cut noodles are ready to cook right away, but if you want, you can make them a day ahead. I'm going to put them in boiling water for 1 minute and then drain them, and they'll be ready to fry. And that's it. That's how you make yaki udon from scratch using the Marcato Atlas 150 with the Bigoli attachment. I hope this was helpful and inspires you to get into the kitchen. See you next time.